Good evening, everybody. As you have noticed here, we have Isabel Lohau from Germany, world-class player in Europe, and she's not going to stay here until the end. She's leaving tomorrow, so I thought that it could be a really good opportunity for everybody to get to know her a little bit closer and to ask her any kind of questions that can come to your mind when it comes to become a professional player. So we are going to have a very relaxed discussion here, and if you have any questions, please just raise your hand and just go for it. Okay? Does it sound good? Also you coaches, please. Don't let us...
Not John.
Yeah. Don't let us alone in this journey, please. So if you want, we can start to know a little bit how you got into badminton, who introduced you, when did you start to play badminton?
Yeah, my parents both also played badminton. I think that's quite a normal way to get to that sport. They played also the Bundesliga in Germany. Like back then it was a little different, so not really professional, but they were really into badminton. So as a kid, I was in many sport halls and yeah, had the racket in my hand quite early. So I just raced with the sport.
And relatively early, you also decided to make a move to the training center. You were maybe 18 years old, 17 years old.
Yeah.
That can be kind of the same age that they are at the moment, and they may be also considering to move away to the right environment. Yeah. What did you find in that environment that made you move there, out of your parents and all your comfort zone?
Yeah, I moved to Hamburg when I was 17. That's like, Hamburg was like 5 hours away by train from home. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure to have a good training setup. So in Hamburg, I had training before school, went to school and had training after. There was some very good junior players, but also good senior players that I knew that could help me to improve my level. There was also very professional surroundings with like weight training and stuff, which was new for me at that age. I guess maybe you're a little further already and using training in the gym already. For me, it was new back when I was 17. But yeah, for me, it was just the environment. I wanted to make sure to have the best setup for reaching my goals at the European Junior Championships 2 years later. So this was my motivation to go there.
Mm-hmm. Just raise your hand if you have some questions. Otherwise, I will just go on. What do you think that you found in yourself that makes you just go all in for badminton? What did you find? Was it a mindset, or how you felt physically, or what did it click on your brain?
I guess it's a mix of all these things, but I don't know. I enjoyed playing badminton. Of course, I also was quite successful when I was young, so this is also, that's fun. I guess you know this. You're all here because you won some medals. And yeah, I just wanted to see how far it can go. Just wanted to do what I love doing. Wanted to put as much energy and as much time in there I could do. And so I never really thought about, is it a way I can go or not? For me, it was always sure, okay, I just do it, and until someone maybe tells me, okay, better do something else. But yeah, my own, motivation was always to go all in.
And also, when becoming a professional player, but you are in a young age like they are at the moment, there are also a lot of temptations on the way, friends, other things to do. You can easily get carried away. How did you always manage to be on track on the way to become or to develop that mindset?
It came quite easy to me, I have to admit. I always had friends in badminton, so it always was tempting for me to go to training and to be away on the weekends with these guys, with my friends, compete with my friends. This always came quite natural to me. But I also was surrounded, like in Hamburg, I was surrounded by people who have the same mindset. So it was easy to just stick in it. So I can't tell so much about other temptations.
And did you have any kind of routine always as a junior player that you couldn't skip at all during a day, like a normal day when you play badminton? Like, yes, before training, I have to, I don't know, listen to this song, or I have to breathing or some kind of meditation, or
I think back then as a junior player I didn't have that. I went to training, tried my best to do there, but I started with some mental training back there, but not super regularly. But yeah, right now for me meditation is an important part of my training as well, but this came very late. I think I could have started with things like this earlier. It can help to get your routine and get to cope with the lifestyle you have, but I think everyone will figure it out at some point. I think to try out stuff and to see what can help you to start this very early is good, and you won't find it like directly, I guess. If you do, you're lucky, but you'll have to try a few things until you find one thing that is really good for you.
Any questions here so far? Coaches? Guys, come on. It's the first, this doesn't happen so often that you will have the chance to speak with a pro player that closely. Yes, go for it.
Three best things of playing on the tour. What are the three best things?
Three best things.
What do you enjoy the most about playing on the world stage?
Compete with the best in the world. That itself is a very special thing to do. Even if it's tough sometimes. I don't know, you fly to Asia 2 weeks and you have 2 games in these 2 weeks and go back home. So that's, you will learn a few lessons on the tour, but I don't know, I think it's why we're all here, or why you are also here. You want to compete with the best in the world. And of course the travel is nice, so it's also, of course there's not so much time. You have to train, you have to compete, and also it's not a day before the tournament. It's not like going out and doing sightseeing all over, but over the years you will see different cities, different countries. You will get to know different people, which is super interesting, and I think not everyone can do stuff like this, a life like this. It's very special, and I'm grateful for it, that I can do it, and that also you can do it. It's special, and it also is limited in some way, so enjoy it while you're in it. And the third thing, I think you get to know yourself really good, like how you cope with setbacks, how you cope with success, how you as a person handle stuff. And this is also a big challenge. It's not always easy, but it's also something, now I say normal people, but in other jobs it's not so easy to learn so much about yourself. So I think these are the 3 things I enjoyed the most, or still enjoy.
And you mentioned that coping with setbacks is also something that this world is giving you. Unfortunately, you couldn't make it in mixed doubles for the Olympics this year, and I guess that for all of them have had also some disappointments when not making it to a tournament that they wanted to play, Europeans, nationals, whatever. How do you deal with those disappointments and those setbacks?
Yeah, it's tough sometimes. You can't always reach what you're aiming for, and what I've learned is like it's okay to be sad also. Like there are emotions and they have their reason why they are there. We're all giving it all in. We go all in for this. So it's also hard if you don't achieve what you want. But what I try to do it then is like, okay, analyze why didn't I qualify, or why didn't I win this match? Like find stuff you can learn from it. Like, and this can also be for yourself. This can be with your partner, with your coach. Like try to learn from it. Find solutions what you can do better next time, and so you maybe prevent the next setback.
That's a good one. Questions over here? Jerome, you wanted something?
As a junior player, where did your funding come from?
Ooh.
So when you were in Hamburg, you started to play international tournaments, or you were still only playing the national tournaments?
No, I also played international tournaments. They're like back then there were not so many junior tournaments as they are now. But
Was the federation helping you, or were your parents helping you, or was your club helping you?
all of that actually. So it was a mix. Like the federation did a lot, but I also found a club in Hamburg that supported me, and of course my parents also still had to pay some stuff. Yeah. But I think actually now in these times, I'm a little older, but now also like stuff like social media can open doors to find some money, to find some opportunities to show yourself to the world and somehow. And I think it's a newer opportunity that can be used.
More questions over here? Go for it.
When did you start to only play doubles?
Actually quite early. So my focus was in under 15. I played all of it, but still my focus was already like the coaches said like, okay, you're better in mixed than in doubles, and I myself also enjoyed more playing in a team or in a small team. So I continued playing singles a little bit more, like in under 17, and then at national level under 19, but more for fun and also for moving better around on court. So there's still some benefits you can get from that, but my focus was quite early on only doubles and mixed doubles. Yes.
Questions? Yeah, Crespo, go for it.
Yeah, we talk about badminton. I think they have it like clear that they have to practice. But this world-class path that you've been through, when or how did you realize all those things that are not on court are important, very important? And what things would you name for them to know?
Of course, like weights training, I just said I started very late, but luckily I have, a good body that I never had a big injury in my whole career, so it was maybe okay that I started a little later with weights training. It's a big part. For me, it was always also then when I started, the biggest part about weight training was for me prevention of injuries. So maybe more than really getting the high performance out of it, but it's a mix. But for me, the prevention of injuries was always the biggest focus, which worked quite well. Recovery is really important. I think when you're young, it's easy to train twice a day and 6 days a week or stuff like this, but it gets harder. And I also felt this when I was in Hamburg at the junior camp. I coped with it quite good. When I moved to the senior camp, where I was the youngest and where the intensity of the training was much higher, there it also was, for me, very important to get the recovery going. So sleep really well, nutrition is a big part of it, and then can be stuff like ice bath, sauna, like everything you could do around, because it gets harder and harder every year. I think these are, for me, most important stuff around.
And also, all these players are now in an age that they are thinking about being committed 100% to badminton, but also I would say it's a little bit of a risky move not having a backup plan in case of injuries, in case things don't go well. So how is your experience in studying at the same time than playing badminton professionally?
Yeah.
And what is your vision on that?
Yeah. actually most of the time during my career in a very slow speed, actually. So I took my bachelor degree in like 6 or 7 years, so very long, normally 3 years, and I'm now still doing my master thesis. So yeah, for me it was always important to have a backup plan and to do also something else. It also helped me. Sometimes it's also good to get your mind off the badminton stuff and all of that, and yeah, get your brain into something else. So for me it was always nice. It can be stressful in phases, but like, as I said, I stretched it very long, so it was super fine. Yeah, for me, myself, it was important to have a backup plan, to have something, yeah, in the pocket. I think people are different. Some want to go 100% all in. For me, it was like this. I think I can understand both ways, but yeah, for me, it was also sometimes fun to have the brain for something else than badminton.
More hands up over here.
More coaches, yeah.
Yes, coaches, come on.
And you're speaking about badminton. What about food? Is food important for to perform in training? Is food helping us to perform in competitions?
Yes.
I know because the food is just fuel to our body.
Yeah.
How important it is.
Yeah.
Because we're speaking about the gym, about badminton, about so many things.
Yeah.
But what about food?
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, I think nutrition is also very, very important, especially also for recovery. So your body can cope with the load you're putting in. I also learned this a little later, actually. In the beginning, when I came to the senior training center, no one really spoke so much about it. But I think it's a very important to fuel your body right, so you can cope with the load, but also like to recover after. It's like both. So it's like sleep and nutrition or like food is very important. And
But
yeah.
for, let's say, for instance, for a 17 years old or 18 years old player, what they should do? I mean, should they read something regarding the food, or go to a nutritionist, or?
I think there are many ways. Yeah, I think there are many ways. Of course, a nutritionist is always a good idea to ask for advice, to ask for expertise in this area. It can also be your coach. They also have probably some good ideas about it. And but you can of course also read stuff. There's a lot of information in the internet. But I think there's also I don't know how much there is about like specific badminton nutrition. Like sports are different. I think I don't know, a runner who runs a marathon needs other nutrition than we need. It's a totally different sport. So be careful with what you read, and if it fits for you and the load you're having. But I guess there are many ways. But find experts that know what they are talking about, and then it's a good help.
More questions? Come on. So many players. Okay, I have another one.
There's one more.
Oh, yes,
You
go
can
for it. Go for
What do
it.
you want to do when you don't play badminton anymore?
That's a very good question. I'd love to stay involved in badminton because it's been all my life and it's my passion. I think I'm not the best coach so far, so I don't know really how I could be involved in badminton. It's maybe more like I studied business economics, so it could be, I don't know, I could imagine being like a manager from a team or from a club or association, more something like this. But yeah, for me it's quite sure that I want to stay involved in the sport, and that is my passion and that I also lived through, so maybe I have some ideas what could be done there. Yeah.
And also, now that you mentioned that you would like to stay involved, at the moment you are also collaborating with Christina Pedersen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
She's being kind of sparring you, also mentoring. How do you find this kind of figure, like reaching out to somebody else from another country, this time Denmark? How did you find that in your, like, how useful did you find it for you to reach out?
Yeah, very useful. It was, or it is still a nice project. We in Germany, we had some former world-class players, yes, but we never had like someone like Christina who won medals at World Championships, medals at Olympics. So it's a little, yeah, it's a different level than we had before. I always love to learn from more experienced players. Like sometimes I'll just see what they do and think about, okay, what can I use, but also talk to them. So for me it was, yeah, Jeppe, like our coach, came up with the idea, maybe it could be another step in your development to find a mentor in this. And then, yeah, we came together with Christina, and I don't know, it clicked from the beginning. We had a good, I think we are quite similar in some parts, so it was easy to also open up to her and easy for her to understand me, kind of. And yeah, as I said, when I started this project, it was like, she's a person, she played all the matches I wanted to play, like Olympic, I don't know, semi-finals, stuff like this. So yeah, she has a lot of experience, and it was nice, like sharing my thoughts, like sometimes also during a tournament, like after a match, before a match, we talked quite a lot, and yeah, this was very interesting, and I could learn a lot from that.
Something that you relate to, right? Like relates to you in the same things that you would like to live. It's important. Somebody that understands you and
yeah.
guide you in the right
I
way.
think also often, like, sorry, coaches, but often some coaches can't, like, if they haven't been former world-class players, they sometimes can't rely or like can't feel you, relate to all the feelings that are inside. I think they all try and they are doing good, but yeah, there's at some level some coaches are not feeling the same. So it's nice to have someone who can relate to this. Yeah.
So how does your communication looks on the court with your coach? For example, something is not going well, or is it 19 all in the third set, or you don't agree with him, or like in every case, how do you speak with your coach and the partner, of course?
Yeah. I think, I don't know, if you see matches from me, I never really actively turn around to my coach. I'm quite, I don't know, focused on the court, more to my partner than to my coach. I of course always listen, which is not so easy in Indonesia, but I normally always like listen to my coach, but never really actively turn around. But that's my way. I think, for example, Mark, he often turns around, so every player is very different. And yeah, I always love to rely on my instincts. So if it's 19 all and I have the feeling, okay, I wanna do a flick, then I'd love to rely on that. Even if the coach is saying, like, I don't know, serve to the tee or whatever, then I loved to stay with my idea. But otherwise I'm always listening, but I've never been the person who needed so much input in a match. I sometimes also like to just play and get, like, in the break at 11, get 1 or 2 important points, and then stick to this. And but people are very different there. So some players need, after every rally, they need input, they need, I don't know, maybe sometimes also just the same reminder, like, okay, quick feed or like easy stuff. I more stay with me and my partner.
Can I add a little bit to that?
Yes.
Just elaborate a little, just for you as players. One of the most important things that I think coaches should do with players is that you have an agreement with Isabel and I have already talked about what she needs from me, because it's not about me as a coach, it's about Isabel. So this relationship with your coaches when it comes to coaching is an agreement. It's something that you already have talked about, so you don't get into some problems in the matches where you actually break that agreement and suddenly we have a problem. Because then we are fighting and we're not fighting the opponent. And that never works. So it always really, really good idea if you feel that you have a relationship sometimes where you feel that the coach is doing too much or stuff like that. Talk with your coaches before, and when you know, if you have that feeling, you know what you need from your coach, that is what you communicate to your coach. And then you find a way to get to an agreement where you work together. Because it's very, very individual. Like Isabel says, she relies on her instincts and doesn't help I tell her to do a lot of other things, because then you have a conflict up here. But her partner, and I know Mark also a little bit, and Mark is absolutely opposite. He wants to know where to hit every shot, more or less, from the coach. Yeah. So even in doubles, we actually have different agreements. One with Isabel, one with Mark. So we can talk directly to Mark all the time, but Isabel has the chance to just focus on hers. Yeah, so we don't need to do that. So it's quite important that you have a really, really good communication with your coaches, so that we can have a good experience on court all the time.
And one thing to add, and this can also develop, like in the beginning, or I don't know, maybe you want to have input after every rally, and then during a match or like during a tournament, whatever, during your work with your coach, you feel like, okay, this was maybe a little too much, or like this can develop. You can change, and I think every coach can adapt. But the communication, as John said, that's super important, because the coach can't know how you feel. He could guess and like see in your body language, like, okay, what is he thinking? But he can never cannot know. So yeah, communication is very important.
Very good. You wanted to continue, right? Yeah. Go.
So I asked you about the coach,
Yeah.
but now as you were playing also the women's doubles.
Yeah.
So how different is it for you to speak with the male and the female on the court? Like, is there any difference like energy, support, or any kind of, also in the difficult situations?
Yeah. I wouldn't say like there's a general difference between Mark and Linda or female and male. I think just every athlete is different, so also every partner is different. So also, as John said about the communication with your coach, it's maybe even more important to have a good communication with your partner. Yeah, and also as John said, like you need some agreements before, like if I struggle, okay, what can help me? My partner has to know, like, okay, you can help me by, I don't know, motivating me or calming me down, or it can be whatever, making me smile, whatever. But yeah, also this is a good key with how you can develop as a team on court. But it's super individual, and there's no one answer to that. For me, it was always good to, even if it's stressful, to sometimes, okay, we can also smile. And like if it's a women's doubles rally that took, I don't know, 2 minutes, whatever, like, okay, that can also get a little smile and yeah, a little loosen up. But people are super different, so it's very individual. And yeah, try to get you to know your partner as good as possible. And even then there will come up situations that are new in some way, like, I don't know, a bad umpire or whatever. There will always happen new stuff, but the better you know your partner, the better you can try to help him, or he also can try to help you.
Good questions.
I have plenty of.
Okay. More over here.
Good.
If you consider yourself ambitious, like to be a world-class player, you need to be ambitious and have goals. So what goals did you have when you were junior, and what changed from now on?
Yeah.
And after attending the Olympics, what are your goals, like in
That's a long question, but a good question. I think, yeah, goal setting is super important, of course. That's like you set goals so you're motivated to be ambitious, to go in the hall every day. So it is very important. As a junior, or like actually during my whole career, I'd loved goals that are not super far away. So like some short-term goals more than like the long-term. Of course, I've always dreamed about the Olympics and about the big medals. But I would say for me these were more dreams than really goals. So I didn't go in the hall every day because I wanted to be, I don't know, European champion. But for me, it fitted more like the short-term goals. But also there, people are very different. Yeah, and what was the rest of the question? Yeah, now, actually, right now, I don't have so many goals right now. I don't know how my career will continue. I'm right now love to perform badminton and love to perform world-class badminton. But I had some marks out right now in mixed doubles, so it's a little finding a new setup, a new partner. So I'm more focusing on that than really setting goals right now in this. It's a little transition phase maybe. I'm not aiming for the Olympics in 4 years. I'm maybe too old for this. So I'm more seeking a little step by step, month to month, and yes.
One step at a time right now.
Yeah.
You talked about short-term goals. Like, how do you deal with pressure or expectations when you arrive to those tournaments that you need to perform or that you want to perform?
Good question. Expectations are always there. Either they come from you, or sometimes they also come from the outside, from the coaches, from your partner, whatever. I try to focus on things I can do on court. Like not so much. I tried not so much to focus about winning or losing, but I tried what can I do on court to have a higher chance to win this? So what is the tactics and what is what are we trying to play? What's the game plan we do? So so shift the focus to stuff you can do and stuff you can stuff you can do more than think too much about pressure and expectations and what if I win, what if I lose, what does the coach think or whatever. So I really always try to focus on stuff on court. All the other thoughts, they pop up. You can't shut them out of your head. They will, before the match, after the match, they will come. But then I always try to get back to the focus, what I can do. Yeah.
And following up, how do you prepare yourself mentally for those situations?
I have a mental coach, which we have a session every 2 or 3 weeks, and some periods more, some periods less, depends a little. And we work on stuff like this also, like how can I handle the pressure? Or, we also have developed some techniques. For example, like before my serve, I have a special breathing I always do. And so to get a higher chance that at 19 all, I can still serve good, stuff like this. I think it's also a big part of being a professional athlete, and it's good. You can't deal with all of that on your own. It's like many emotions and many stuff to deal with. So it's an important part.
Mm-hmm. More questions over here.
What was mentally your hardest moment in your career?
Wow.
I think not qualifying for this Olympics. I think this was actually the hardest. This was for me, kind of my last goal in some way, which I set for my career, and I competed in the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo, which was very special, which I always dreamed of, but this was, as you maybe know, the Corona Olympics, so not the normal Olympics, but still there I loved it so much that for me it was clear, okay, I want to experience it one more time in a normal setup. And yeah, I didn't do it. But actually I'm super grateful for all the stuff that happened the last 3 years. Like I became European champion, world medal, which were never really goals for me. For me it was all the Olympics that I don't know, that lit the fire in me somewhere. So I'm still grateful, but it was also, super tough not making it. And also maybe after, quite high expectations, especially after the world medal, stuff like this. I, really wanted to go there, but I didn't.
More over here. Do you have something, Jerome, or just smiling? Okay. That's all right. Then, unless something comes up to your mind, I would like you to actually give all these players a message and some kind of advice now from how to continue on their careers as a professional players. From you that you have been there and now where you are, what would you tell them?
Wow. Good question. I don't know, what can I say? I think you all love the sport. That's why we're here, and we should never lose this. I think it's the most basic thing. We play badminton because it's fun. We started to play badminton because it's fun, and it should be fun during the career. Of course, there are hard moments, and there are hard sessions where it's for sure not fun. But there should be always some fun around, and you should enjoy what you're doing. And I think you should, every once in a while, you should think about and reflect, like, okay, is it still fun? Am I doing the right stuff? And if you find the answer, like, okay, yes, it is, then continue, throw everything in you have, and it will be good.
Good one.
Yeah.
And also, because there are 4 coaches here at the moment, so what could you tell them also? Like when you were a junior player, you probably missed some things, or now in hindsight, that you can think, okay, I would have really liked to have these kind of things in my trainings when I was younger, or even right now as well. So which message would you give to the coaches that in the end will help all these players to move on in their careers?
I actually think we talked about it already, kind of the communication between coaches and players is super important, and I guess all the coaches are here doing it, but it is super important. Every athlete is very different, which is sometimes not easy if you have a group of like 20 players or something like this. It will never be easy to make it perfect for everyone, but like in situations like in the coaching directly, and there you can really, I think, try to help or get all the needs the players have. They try to help them, and it's very individual. And I would just say, like, listen to the players, even if they're a little younger, and maybe they don't know exactly what they need, but maybe they try to tell you somehow what they need. And I think that what I would say.
Good one, good advice. Very good. Unless there is something else, we can wrap it up in here. And I hope that you have really enjoyed. I think it was a really good opportunity having a world-class player here and sharing with her how she sees also this high-performance environment. So thank you very much, guys, for being here.
Thanks. Thank you.
Of course, an applause. And thank you, Isabel, for your time and for being here, for
It
sure.
was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
And that's it, guys. Now go back to business. Let's go.